Core collapse supernova. The fastest thing that ever falls apart. For 10 million years, a giant star is a fight. Gravity pulls in. The fire inside pushes out. Neither one wins. Then the fuel runs out, and gravity wins a fight it has been losing since the star was born in a quarter of a second. That makes it the most violent thing gravity can do. But what's even crazier is what it leaves behind. The middle of that star is as wide as the Earth, and it falls at a quarter of the speed of light. Nothing stops it. What's left is a black hole the size of Rhode Island, an hour's drive across with 10 suns crushed inside, and you don't have to fall in to die. One within 30 light years would tear the ozone off our sky. Stars will do this one day. None are close enough. Not yet. A supernova tells the whole sky, but the next one kills a star so quietly nobody has ever seen it. Failed supernova. The only way to make a black hole that leaves nothing behind. A star 25 times heavier than the sun goes out like someone turned off a light. In 2009, astronomers were watching one in a galaxy so full of exploding stars they kept a telescope on it. That makes it the only star we have ever seen disappear. But the strange part came after. The big lights at a stadium going out in the middle of a game, they never come back on, and the stadium is gone too. The star had grown 1,000,000 times brighter than the sun. Just what a star does before it explodes, then nothing. Telescopes went back and found one small patch of warmth. The heat left in a chair after someone walks away. The star was so heavy that the explosion never reached the surface. Gravity ate it first. It didn't die. It was erased. Which means some stars on our maps are already black holes wearing a dead star's name. And the next one shakes the planet under you. Neutron star merger. The heaviest stuff in the universe for its size outside a black hole. A neutron star is the middle of a dead star crushed to the size of a city. 1 teaspoon of it weighs 1,000,000,000 tons, more than every human alive in something you could stir your coffee with. That makes it the hardest thing the universe can build without turning into a black hole. But what happens when two of them meet? Look at the gold in a wedding ring. Every atom was made in a crash like this. 2 dead stars hitting at 1/3 of light speed, throwing Earth's worth of gold across the galaxy before Earth existed. In 2017, we felt one. It also fires a beam of energy out of both ends, and if one were pointed at us, there'd be no warning. The beam arrives at the same moment as the news. That took 2 dead stars and 1 second. But the next is eaten from the inside by something that never touches anything. Dark matter-induced collapse. The only black hole born inside a living star. There is 5 times more dark matter than everything we can see. And it goes straight through solid rock as if the rock weren't there. Some is going through your body right now, and almost none of it touches you. That makes it the only thing that ignores the rest of the universe. But a neutron star is packed tight enough to catch it. One particle sticks, then another. It sinks to the middle of the star and stays, because dark matter has no way of destroying itself. It just collects one particle at a time for 1,000,000,000 years. Physicists have a name for it, an endoparasitic black hole. A parasite made of nothing growing inside the star that feeds it, eating it from the inside until the whole star falls in 1,000th of a second. And at the center of our galaxy, dead stars keep going missing. The next one makes black holes out of black holes. Binary black hole merger. The loudest event in the universe, and it makes no sound at all. 2 black holes spend millions of years falling toward each other. In the last half second, they whirl around each other 250 times a second, faster than the blades of a helicopter. That makes it the most powerful thing since the Big Bang. But what comes out isn't light. 3 whole suns worth of matter turns into a ripple in the shape of space, spreading outward. One arrived here in 2015 after traveling 1.3 billion years. It left before there was a single animal on Earth. Think about it this way. It reached you. It went through the planet, through the building you're in, through your body, stretching every atom in you as it passed. You felt nothing. 2 black holes finding each other is an accident. The next one builds thousands on purpose. Runaway stellar collisions. The only place in the universe where stars kill each other. Omega Centauri is 10 million stars packed 1,000 times tighter than the sky above you. Stand on a planet inside it and 10,000 stars would burn brighter than Venus. You'd live an entire life and never see a night. That makes it the most crowded place a planet could exist. But nothing in that crowd is safe. 2 stars hit and stick, and the thing left is heavier. Heavy things sink toward the middle, where it's busiest. So it hits something else, and again. A snowball rolling downhill made of suns until it's bigger than any star could get alone and falls in on itself, and it's still in there. Stars at that center swing around something invisible, far too fast. 8,000 suns worth of nothing. That is the most crowded sky there is. The next one died in the emptiest sky that ever was. Population 3 collapse. The first stars that ever existed, and everyone died without a witness. The early universe was hydrogen and helium, nothing else. To build a star, a gas cloud has to cool and shrink, and it's carbon and oxygen that let gas shed heat, like a window in a hot room. That makes the first clouds the only ones with no windows. But look what that did. They couldn't cool, so they couldn't break into thousands of suns the way clouds do now. Each stayed hot and fell in as one piece. A single star, 300 times the mass of ours, alone in a whole region of space. So stand on it and look up. There is no other star anywhere, because there aren't any yet. It burned 2 million years, then fell in, and the dark closed over the only thing that ever lit it. If you've made it this far into the universe's monster recipes, hit subscribe, because the next one needed no star at all. Direct collapse. How the universe built black holes before it could build stars. An entire gas cloud falls inward at once, and what forms is born already weighing 100,000 suns. That makes it the only black hole that never needed a star at all. But the strange part is the order. The Pacific Ocean freezing into one solid block of ice instead of a storm of snowflakes. That is what happened, and they are out there in the oldest light we can see, far too big and far too early. Like looking into a baby's bed and finding a grown man standing in it. The monsters came first. Everything you're made of came later. The next one is what a seed like that becomes after 13 billion years. Accretion growth, not an event. A meal that started 13 billion years ago and never stopped. At the center of a galaxy called M87, there's a black hole eating 90 Earths a day. It's the one you've seen. The orange ring, the black dot. The first photograph anyone ever took of a black hole. That makes it the largest thing that has ever been photographed, and somehow it has never once paused. It kept eating while our planet formed, while life began, while every human who ever lived was born and died. And it's 24 billion miles across. Get in a car, hold it at 70, and crossing it would take you 40,000 years. And it won't stop when you're gone. When the last star burns out and the sky goes black for good, it will still be sitting there, still feeding. Every black hole so far needed something to make it, but the next one needed nothing at all. Primordial black hole. Older than atoms, older than light itself. These formed in the first fraction of the first second, before the universe had made a single star. Everything was packed so tightly that a random lump could close on itself and fall in where it sat. That makes them the oldest objects that can possibly exist, but that isn't the strange part. Because they never came from stars. They can be any size at all. Take an asteroid, a rock big enough to wipe out a city, and crush it until it is smaller than a single atom without losing any weight. All that weight. None of the space. And one may cross the inner solar system every decade, which means one could pass through this room, through the wall behind you, through your chest, out through the floor, and you'd feel nothing. It may have already happened. Those still needed matter to clump, but the next one needs no matter at all. Only light. Kugelblitz. A black hole made out of nothing but light. Every black hole so far needed matter. A star, a gas cloud, another black hole. But E equals mc squared says matter and energy are the same thing, wearing different clothes. That makes light a building material, so shine enough of it into a small enough spot, and it should collapse on its own. But squeeze light that hard, and it stops being light. It turns into matter, a tiny particle and its opposite twin appearing out of nothing. That is the same trick a hospital body scanner does, only backwards. And those new particles don't stay. They shoot out of the beam and take the energy with them, faster than you could ever pilot in. In 2024, the math said it's impossible. In 2025, other physicists said the math was wrong. They're still arguing. That one is a fight on paper. But the next one we actually built. Micro-black hole. The only one on this list humans have ever tried to make. We smashed two protons together at 99.99% of the speed of light. That crams the energy of a flying mosquito into a space smaller than an atom. That makes it the only black hole in history with a lawsuit attached. Because before we switched it on, a man in Hawaii sued to stop it. He took the US Department of Energy to court, saying the machine would make a black hole that ate the Earth. The judge said no and wrote it down. The end of the world was not the US government's fault. So why are you still here? Because nature does that same test over your head every day. Tiny pieces of atoms fall out of space and hit our air all the time, some as hard as a thrown baseball. Earth has taken them for 4 billion years, 12 ways, wildly different ingredients, but the last thing on this list is the reason none of it matters. The no-hair theorem. Every way of making a black hole on this list ends in the exact same object. You can read the story of anything by looking at it. The scratch on your phone is the day you dropped it. The rings in a tree count every year it lived. Physicists call those little marks hair. A black hole hasn't got any. It's bald. Throw the Library of Congress into one. Throw the same weight in gold bars into another. The two are not alike. They are the same. Nothing that went in left a mark. That makes it the only thing with no past. But this isn't a guess. Tap a bell and the ring tells you what it's made of. A church bell and a wine glass sound nothing alike. That's a thing's history coming out as sound, and a new black hole rings too. In 2025 we caught one loud enough to hear. It rang with two facts. How heavy it was, how fast it spun. No story in it at all. So tonight, a black hole from a dying star and one from the Big Bang sit side by side. The same. Not even physics could tell them apart.